Yo, what it is, YouTube? It's your boy DC coming back with another bullseye of a video here today on the channel. I'm gonna show y'all how to bring life and get your home vocals to sound professional. All right. So if y'all like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. You want to support the channel? Well, check the links and in the comments. Let me know what you think. Okay. So let's get to this right about now.
It's how it should be. You gon' fall in love with me tonight. You gon' call me. If I don't get a text, something ain't right. Girl with a pretty face, I get I'ma go, man. It's more than I can explain in a short time. They didn't need a grapevine to hear you sounding like me. Need another shout out when I put on D&D. And it's you, babe. You know nothing else is in between. It's too much for me to scheme, babe. I know that I'm real, this ain't no sound. You can only find on desktop, yeah. I'm making the room bounce. I'm not even rolling up. This just ain't a flex, I don't wanna call on them all. Call on them all, it's how it should be. You gon' fall in love with me tonight. You gon' call me. If I don't get a text, something ain't right.
All right, so y'all gotta understand that what we're working here with today. Shout out to the artists. Gonna link them in the description. Okay, cool. Let's start from the very beginning of the vocal chain. All right, because I know a lot of people, they have this thing that they think, oh, Nick, you gotta show me step by step by step. You know, show me the pizza, show me the dough, show me how you took the pepperoni, show me how you did the tomato sauce. And look, making music, you always is swapping out the plugins and mixing and matching shit. It never works like, oh, I just start like this. Like, it never works like that. But for the people in the back of the classroom, I will start with all plugins bypassed so you can just hear a fucking raw vocal. All right. But look, most importantly though, bruh, if y'all not using this plugin, you tripping, jit. It's gonna be the Split S plugin. This is an essential plugin for me. And with this plugin, what it does is it manually brings down the S's. So it's like a de-esser. Usually a de-esser, what a de-esser will do is a sushi chef like Benihana's. It takes your vocal and it cuts it into two, you know, and does the compression that way. So when it puts it back together, sometimes it can sound incomplete. You know, there's a phase crossover thing going on. But I like Split S because it's only using natural volume.
It's how it should be. You gon' fall in love with me tonight. You gon' call me. If I don't get a text, something ain't right. Girl with a pretty face, I get I'ma go, man. It's more than I can explain in a short time. They didn't need a grapevine to hear you sounding like me. Need another shout out when I put on D&D. And it's you, babe. You know nothing else is in between. It's too much for me to scheme, babe. I know that I'm real, this ain't no sound. You can only find on desktop, yeah. I'm making the room bounce. I'm not even rolling up. This just ain't a flex.
So I'm already putting myself in a situation to win because I don't have to de-ess as much. I've been putting y'all onto this plugin for a minute. Split S, I ain't gonna lie, Split S gonna have to hit me up and say thank you. Applesoft or whatever, I might just hit them up, you know, do a little collaboration possibly because they have great plugins. Check them out. But yeah, Split S though, you see it's using the actual manual volume. So I noticed that the vocal was kind of like, he wanted it to make it super bright. So before I can make it super bright, you know, before you can make something super salty, sometimes you got to cook it a certain way, you know, you got to slow cook it. All right, let's look at the soothe.
It's how it should be. You gon' fall in love with me tonight. You gon' call me. If I don't get a text, something ain't right. Girl with a pretty face, I get I'ma go, man. It's more than I can explain in a short time. They didn't need a grapevine to hear you sounding like me. Need another shout out when I put on D&D. And it's you, babe.
Okay, so I only started you know, doing the vocal chain like this because I knew he wanted to make his vocals super fucking bright. So by the time I started boosting shit, my vocals gotta already sound like good. You know, some people, they might start with a lot of brightness, but when you do that, you're gonna be bringing up a lot of BS. So rather than what you kind of want to do is you want to make sure like this ball of cookie dough that you have is already good tasting before you even throw it in the oven. You know, before you even add any more ingredients to it, make sure that the actual base, the foundation is good. Like if you build a house, you want to make sure the actual basement is fucking rock solid. The floor is actually rock solid before you add a second and a third floor. Because if you got a weak foundation, then fighting a nasty little battle. All right. So that's why I find myself using a tape plugin again. So the first 3 plugins is just de-harshing it. I'm working with the end in mind. I already know, oh yeah, I gotta make this bright. I gotta make this bright, but still to the point where it, the vocal's bright. It's bright, but it's not harsh. Okay. So that's how I'm adding life. And now I'm using a little bit of tape, to also giving a little mid-range bump.
It's how it should be. You gon' fall in love with me tonight. You gon' call me. If I don't get a text, something ain't right. Girl with a pretty face, I get I'ma go, man. It's more than I can explain in a short time. Didn't need a grapevine to hear you sounding like me. Need another shout out when I put on D&D. And it's you, babe. You know nothing else get in between. It's too much for me to scheme, babe. I know that I'm real. This ain't no sound. You can only find on desk.
All right, so you see what the tape is bringing us in here. Okay, so let's start with the actual vocal chain. First thing I used was a Faraday limiter. I like using limiters in the very beginning because they have a great way of bringing out the mid-range even more. So I'm really putting myself in a situation to win because my vocal's going to be solid. And I like this limiter right here because you have internal sidechain, which makes it better than most limiters. I can't even think of a limiter that has internal sidechain like this one. But yeah, I have internal sidechain, so it makes the limiting super clean. I have the oversampling on, which makes it sound better, and I have like a transformer distortion.
It's how it should be. You gon' fall in love with me tonight. You gon' call me. If I don't get a text, something ain't right. Girl with a pretty face, I get I'ma go, man. It's more than I can explain in a short time. Didn't need a grapevine to hear you sounding like me. Need another shout out when I put on D&D. And it's you, babe. You know nothing else get in between. It's too much for me to scheme, babe. I know that I'm real. This ain't no sound. You can only find on desktop, yeah. I'm making the room bounce. Only found on desktop, yeah. I'm making the room bounce. I'm not even rolling up. It's just ain't a flex. I don't wanna call on them more.
So because the limiter is one of the first plugins, it's making everything smoother on the conveyor belt. Now all this kind of peaking energy and stuff like that, because just the way he sings, it just has so much energy to it. Like you see like the little waveform and stuff, you gotta pay attention to your waveform. Sometimes you got all this peaking style energy back to back. It could make your vocal chain work a little too hard. It could make a compressor pump a little too hard. So I like to start with a limiter. Very transparent. You could even use L2 and only tap it a dB or 2. That's just gonna control the words that have more energy than others. Pretty much flattening the pizza dough as we're cooking up. All right. Then I just did some frequency sweeps.
I know that I'm real, this ain't no sound. You can only find on desktop, yeah. I'm making the room bounce. I'm not even rolling up. This just ain't a flex, I don't wanna call on them more. Call on them more, it's how it should be. You gon' fall in love with me tonight. You gon' call me. If I don't get a text, something ain't right. Girl with a pretty face, I get I'ma go, man. It's more than I can.
All right, cool. And after that, because I took some food out the cookie jar, I got to put the cookie back. So I took out some body out of the vocals and I had to add it back. And I used the Pultec and I just boosted 60 hertz. So yeah, I kind of added some low end back to the vocal.
Call on them all, it's how it should. And it's you, babe. You know nothing else get in between. It's too much for me to scheme, babe. I know that I'm real, this ain't no sound. You can only find on desktop, yeah. I'm making the room bounce. I'm not even rolling up. It's just ain't a flex, I don't wanna call on them all. Call on them all, it's how it should be. You gon' fall in love with me tonight. You gon' call me.
All right, cool. And after that, I used the Weiss de-esser, which is the best de-esser in the world. It's either you're going to use this or some type of mastering grade de-esser, digital mastering de-esser, which means this shit was made for you to put on your actual master. Okay, like literally, it's going to maintain fidelity. It's going to maintain quality. And you throw that motherfucker on your voice. I always start off with my solo preset. I just solo it, and I just use a wide band. I don't use like a high. Sometimes like all this 10K and shit, you can't even hear it anyways. And sometimes it's not even annoying,
And it's you, babe. You know nothing else get in between. It's too much for me to scheme, babe. I know that I'm real, this ain't no sound. You can only find on desktop, yeah. I'm making the room bounce. I'm not even rolling up. It's just ain't a flex, I don't wanna taste, something ain't right. Girl with a pretty face, I get I'ma go, man. It's more than I can.
So you know, there was a little bit of nasty energy up there, but I usually don't do my de-esser like that. I usually don't use the actual, you know, HF like that little symbol right there. I find myself just using this type of band, especially what makes this plugin a little bit better too is because you have this adjustable type of thing right here. You feel me? So it kind of makes it better than other de-essers. Way better than Waves. Waves one is good too, but I'm just saying this is gonna help you get a more professional sound. I think it's worth an investment of the Weiss one. And yeah, you know, there's some bullshit up here. There's some flies, fruit flies, so I gotta get rid of them hoes.
And it's you, babe. You know, I know that I'm real. It's you, babe. You know nothing else get in between. It's too much for me to scheme, babe. I know that I'm real. This ain't no sound. You can only find on desktop. Yeah, I'm making the room bounce. I'm not even rolling up. It's just ain't a flex. I don't want.
Because I'm taking all the emphasis off of this bullshit right here, these fruit flies. You know, all you hear is buzzing, like sound like a motherfucking mosquito is in this bitch. You feel me? That type of energy, and that comes from like, you know, that's just gonna come from boosting top end, and that's why I say I do the chain in reverse. Because if my ass would have been sitting over here like, oh man, like, you know, I did the chain in reverse. I don't even think I used high end because his vocals just already sounded like bright as fuck. I don't know if this is because of a bright microphone or I'm not sure, but his voice just sounded bright over this beat already. So I wasn't jacking up mad high end and stuff like that. I think I hardly used any high end here. Yeah, and I still got to be like bright as shit. Yeah, the brightness, I think it came from the mix bus, right? So I have saturation right here, and I have EQ, yeah, something like that. I don't know how the vocal got. I don't know how I got it bright without using no brightness, but fuck it. All right, so CLA 76, and this is just like really clean. I only made the lead vocal clean because the ad libs are dirty. I'm not gonna go over the ad libs here. Maybe in a different video, but yeah, I like to do that. Clean lead vocal, dirty ad libs. You feel me? So
In love with me tonight, you gon' call me. If I don't get a text, something ain't right. Girl with a pretty face, I get I'ma go, man. It's more than I can explain in a short time. Didn't need a grapevine to hear you sounding like me. Need another shout out when I put on D&D. And it's you, babe. You know nothing else get in between. It's too much for me to scheme, babe. I know that I'm real, this ain't no sound. You can only scheme, babe.
so yeah, doing some like distortion shit, and that's that little dirt that I'm sprinkling all throughout the mix. You know, like doing like the dirty shit like this.
You gon' fall in love. Right, girl with a on D&D. It's too much for me to scheme, babe.
Just creating those little one shots, those little ad lib effects. That's the TikTok candy that everybody likes. And I use the SSLG, and I know mid range is gonna be boosted here. I just used it for the compressor. Wow, that's insane. I only used it for the compressor. Low ratio to gather everything together in a decent release.
On D&D, and it's you, babe. You know nothing else get in between. It's too much for me to scheme, babe. I know that I'm real, this ain't no sound. You can only find on desktop, yeah. I'm making the room bounce. I'm not even rolling up. It's just ain't a flex, I don't wanna call on them up. Call on them up, it's how it should be. You gon' fall in love with me tonight.
RVox, that's gonna give more density, and a sweet CVox. I think there was like a little bit of noise in this shit. But I like this plugin for the oversampling though, man. This UAD plugin. It's A1 for just the oversampling sound.
You gon' fall in love with me tonight. You gon' call me. If I don't get a text, something ain't right. Girl with a pretty face, I get I'ma go, man. It's more than I can explain in a short time. Didn't need a grapevine to hear you sounding like me. Need another shout out when I put on D&D. And it's you, babe. You know nothing else get in between. It's too much for me to scheme, babe. I know that I'm real, this ain't no sound. You can only find on desktop, yeah. I'm making the room.
Yeah, so that's how we got the vocals to sound like that. Then I used I got my brightness from the Pultec. So I purposely used this bright tube compressor on parallel. Gave me some brightness.
You gon' fall in love with me tonight. You gon' call me. If I don't get a text, something ain't right. Girl with a pretty face, I get I'ma go, man. It's more than I can explain in a short time. Didn't need a grapevine to hear you sounding like me. Need another shout out when I put on D&D. And it's you, babe. You know nothing else is in between. It's too much for me to scheme, babe. I know that I'm real, this ain't no sound. You can only find on desktop.
And just one quick gem, sometimes just go on your reverb and do a shelf, and that can bring out vocal brightness. Just pay attention to how just the fact that I took off a little bit of topping on this goddamn reverb made the vocal more clarity.
You gon' fall in love with me tonight. You gon' call me. If I don't get a text, something ain't right. Girl with a pretty face, I get I'ma go, man. It's more than I can explain in a short time. Didn't need a grapevine to hear you sounding like me. Need another shout out when I put on D&D. And it's you, babe. You know nothing else is in between. It's too much for me to scheme, babe. I know that I'm real, this ain't no sound. You can only find on desktop, yeah. I'm making the room bounce. I'm not even rapping now. This just ain't a flex, I don't wanna call on no more.
Yeah, so just doing it, you know, making sure your fucking reverb don't got too much high end. It's a great way to bring presence out of the vocal. That's some shit that you can only learn like when you've been mixing for like some years though. For me, for like a long time, and then you just notice like, man, fuck, I've been pushing EQ on this vocal like crazy. Oh, let me maybe take something off of something else, and that will make the vocal pop more. So that's pretty much the end of the video here today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is how I built a pro vocal chain to get vocals from home sounding pro and ad-lib sounding pro, okay? So I just want to say thanks a lot for being a great part of my YouTube family. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate y'all now, YouTube gang. Peace.